Game double tap, everybody. Welcome back to Iktah. It's been a long time. I haven't played it in a minute. I remember last time we found a piece of leather. So let's keep going. Maybe we'll find more. Anyway, we're in this for the long haul. I love this game. It's very deep. It's very grounded. And that's the name of the developer, by the way. Grounded Games. Thank you very much. Love this game. Keep developing for it. Keep going. I'm going to keep playing it till I beat it. Anyway, I've been wanting to get back to some more grounds, roots, kind of, you can see where am I going here. Try to get back to some more kind of grounded games and just have some fun. Before we get started, let me give a big shout out to MyNoise. I've got a little bit of a robot sound that they just downloaded. It's really cool. See, I love MyNoise because it has always something new. And for one small amount of money, I think it's like a few bucks, you get infinite music. It's ridiculous. Again, check them out. They're in my description as always. And please fully support developers like Grounded Games and MyNoise who make things accessible to the blind and visually impaired. And I really appreciate them for that. But definitely check out my description. You can also find a link to Iktah. So, we are going to continue to upgrade our levels and upgrade our power, our attack, our defense. Hopefully we find some items. Eventually, I'd like to get to some fishing, some exploring, some mining, but I'm not in a hurry. And play for about a good 45, 50 minutes to an hour. If I'm feeling inspired, what? Wait a second. I have my noise makers today because this is not a sleepy time video. My spoken faux pas are terrible this week. Again, I've been misspeaking all week long. Anyway, I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Hope you have a great weekend planned. Today is this is not our happy hour. We're gonna do our happy hour right after this video. This is our usual in this series video, so there should be a number. Again, if you don't see a number, it might be because it's really not a lot I'm doing. So don't worry if you don't get the numbers right, just watch all the videos. Again, I apologize if they're not in order, but it just feels like a lot of these videos, just enjoy them and watch them, have a good time. Anyway, I'm really loving this robot music. It's really getting me jumping. I really had an excessive amount of energy this morning. I have no idea why. Had a really pleasant conversation with my building manager. She's really awesome. Talked to Marissa this morning too, and she's doing great. And yeah, she's a trainer for Access Ingenuity. So if you're looking for training, swing by Access Ingenuity. You can also find them on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, everywhere you look for jobs. If you are a very well and talented accessibility trainer, specialist of some kind, look into it. But like I said, but if you are a student and you're looking to learn, you could get Marissa as a teacher. She's fantastic, well above my pay grade. But yeah, swing by Access Ingenuity if you're looking to learn something. They're looking for students, and it's a little bit of an opening right now. They're usually jam-packed. But yeah, go by there, check it out. Updates before we get to playing. Joseph is feeling a little bit better. So that is Jose. That is Marissa's guide dog. His paw is healing. I'll give you an update next week to let you know if it's fully healed. He's on an antibiotic regime and he should be fine. Other news. Valentine's Day was great. Had a good time. Me and Marissa went to, we had a little time with her daughter and we hung out and we had a good time. And I forgot what we did. She got me some LaCroix, which is like a water. It was really cute. I got her new perfume, so she's very happy about that. If you, I might have her tell you what it is. She really loves it. Oh, it smells so good too. I think perfume is one of the best things you can, cologne and perfumes are some of the best things you can put on. I feel like you're not fully dressed unless you have a really good scent on. Again, I mean, unless you're going into an office and respecting the scent issues, but yeah, myself personally, I got a nice new cologne, so I've been rocking that a little bit. It's really quite nice, quite gentlemanly. My game, DCS is going really good. We are going to be starting up again this Sunday, so woohoo! I've had a 2-week break for the Super Bowl and my birthday. Yep, I made the big 56 this year, so I didn't do a birthday special, I didn't do a Valentine's special, I didn't do a Super Bowl special, but I did do a Super Bowl day game. So check that out on the channel. It was really fun. Iktah. I love this game. Again, it's my chill game. It's definitely my Friday game. It's my happy hour game. It's my easy grind game. So we're just going to be smashing buttons. And if I need to take a break, you know what's up. But yeah, today's noisemakers are the usual. This one, you know the one. You know that one. That's my all-purpose one. And I have the Yeti today. Also, you know, my voiceover is moving before my voice or after my voice. So yes, my phone and iMovie and screen recording are out of sync. I do apologize. It will fix itself. I know updates come and go, and currently iOS 17 has been really difficult on my screen recording, but that's okay. I love Apple for everything they do. For the most part, folks, I couldn't do what I do without Apple because they make everything work and they make everything accessible. The most accessible phone you could ever have is an Apple phone. No disrespect to Android and all the other developers. All right, now that we got the chitty chat away, and I forgot to tell you guys to fast forward 10 minutes in case you didn't want to hear the chitty chat. I'll make sure I do that in the beginning of every video. In the future, always fast forward 10 minutes. You get past my chitty chat. 10 minutes, that's it. That's all I ask. Don't skip the video. Don't just be mean to me in the video. Just fast forward 10 minutes. There's a little button on YouTube that YouTube just added, which I think is fantastic. You can forward 1 minute at a time. So you can actually not miss anything. So, and you can forward, you can backwards, you can rewind back 1 minute. I do it on my YouTubers who rant a lot, and you can do it on people like me who get too chatty chatterton. You can fast forward a minute until you hear me stop talking. Then you can just listen and have a good time. Anyway, let me know what you're doing for your weekend in the comments, and let me know how you're doing in Iktah. If you'd like to offer some tips, tricks, and strategy, feel free to offer those in the comments. It's okay if they are spoilers. It's going to be a long time before I get up to your level. So you're well above my pay grade. So don't worry if you're offering above the pay grade tips. It's totally okay. All right, let's get going. Oh, sorry, my speaking rate is high. Let me turn it down.
Vertical navigation, headings, audio button, volume, 100%, speaking rate, 60%, 65%, words, character, vertical headings.
All right, let's get going here.
Sort type, button, read for logs, 1, image.
Let's hear what's
Actions
in our
available,
inventory, then we'll get to fighting.
Sort type, button, items in current bag, 3 of 30.
Oh, we got 3 items.
Sort type, button, read for logs, 1, image.
We got
Actions
a red
available, 1.
fur log.
Tiny eye, 1, image.
We got
Actions
a
available.
tiny eye, which I think came from a rabbit.
Light leather, 1, image.
And we got a
Actions
light
available, 1.
leather, which I think came from a fox. All right, cool. Yeah, let's get going. Let's get back to fighting.
Combat, button. Combat. Health, 1, combat, equipment, button, skills menu, inventory, shop, button. Show drops 4, porcupine, image.
Okay,
porcupine.
we got porcupine. Are we fighting that today?
Porcupine stats, attack, 3, strength, 20, defense, 3, hit points, 7.
It's got 20 strength. These are a little stronger. I think the porcupine's a little stronger. Well, let's start fighting it though. And yes, I am going to purchase some elixirs and potions and some in-game stuff. Pay to have fun. Paid to free. Pay to fun. PDF. Not pay to win. Pay to fun. So I don't believe in pay to win. I think if you have the money to pay to win, then so be it. This is a capitalist society, so get in there and spend your money, especially for developers who are making games for the community of those with disabilities. Give as generously as possible. Let's see.
Player attack speed, 3.00s.
Okay, let's see what we're going to upgrade first.
Enemy attack speed, 3.00s. Swap weapon, image. Change selected combat skill to defense. Increases chance to avoid enemy attacks. XE, defense, level 7, no tone, 0,
Whoops.
button, swap weapon, image. Change selected combat skill to defense. Defense, level 7 defense experience, 504/608.
We can do defense first. Why not we do that? Let's do that.
Equipped weapon, unarmed, defense, level 7 defense experience. Equipped weapon, start combat, button.
And we're going to die a lot, so here we go.
Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Health 1. Combat button. Health 1 button. Lock. No tone. Choose combat spot. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. The forest. Button. Lock.
I like how the robot soundtrack goes circuit rhythm. It's so cute. Oh god, MyNoise, please do more talking soundtracks and ambiences. They are adorable. I added a little natural sounds because I want to feel like we're out there in a large world. So, but I could have just gone with the circuit rhythm song from MyNoise.
Combat button. Health 1 button. No tone 0. Choose combat. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Combat button. Choose combat spot. But start equipped weapon. Start combat. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Choose combat spot. Button. Start combat. But stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Heading. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back but choose combat spot. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back but choose combat spot button. Start combat. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back but start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back but start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat.
That was a nice hit.
Go back button. Go back but start combat button. Stop combat.
This game has some of the nicest combat sounds of any game.
Go back button. Go back but start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button.
By the way, that feedback sound you're hearing, that isn't because my microphone's malfunctioning. That's part of the soundtrack because it's like a little electronic sounds, kind of scratchy and stuff like that. So don't worry. The feedback is part of the soundtrack.
Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back but start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Level 8.
Yay! I love that music. Level 8.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button.
All right, we're going to keep
Forest.
all of
Heading.
our stats balanced, so let's go switch up the stat. We're going to level the others to level 8.
Swap weapon. Image. Change selected combat skill to defense. Increases chance to avoid enemy attacks. X equals defense level. Enemy attack level. Avoid chance equals 50 plus 0.70. Change selected combat skill to attack. Improves your chance of hitting a target. X equals attack. Level 7 attack experience.
All right, let's
507
get
slash 608.
our attack up to level 8 now. Here we go.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat.
Excuse me.
Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Level 8.
Yay, there we go.
Go back button.
2 out of 3. Level 8. Let's go get the last one.
Go back button. Go back go back button. Go back button. The forest. Choose combat spot. No tone. 0 button. Swap weapon. Image. Change selected combat skill to attack. Improves your change selected combat skill to strength. Determines how hard you can hit. Max hit equals 1 plus strength /3 button.
Let's do strength. And that will be the circuit.
Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Choose combat spot. Equipped weapon. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat.
We're really hitting there for a minute.
Button.
I got a good 6-7 hits in that time.
Go back button. Go back. Equipped weapon. On start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Heading. Start combat button. Stop combat.
When we get done with this, we will take a quick bio break, refresh our coffee, and keep going. We'll try to get to level 9 in all stats.
Go back button.
Because this coffee is beginning to wilt.
Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Start combat button. Stop combat. Go back button. Go back button. Equipped weapon. Unarmed. Start combat button. Stop combat.
Hope you all have some good plans for your weekend coming up.
Go back button.
I am going to be working on DCS.
Go back button.
I'm going to be
Go
working
back
on
button.
my tabletop
forest.
game. I am writing a very extensive alchemy guide.
Start combat button. Stop combat.
It is pretty good. It's really good.
Go back button.
What do I hope to do? One day I actually hope to publish this game that I'm creating. I know my players are really enjoying it. It's so deep, and there's so many different things you can do. There's so many things you can upgrade, and yet it isn't boring like sometimes tabletop games can be. I try to keep a variety in what my players are doing. Like sometimes they're in a card battle, sometimes they're in a straight up 5th edition battle, sometimes they're in a very dynamic Street Fighter style battle, sometimes they're in a survival kind of race, sometimes they are dealing with a fortification issue where they're being surrounded, like they are billions or millions or something like that, one of those kind of titles. Occasionally they're into a board game strategy turn-based kind of battle. So I vary how the game works every single time. So they never know what they're going to be dealing with right now. So currently what they are dealing with is a survival building phase where they are building up their town, and they're having a lot of fun with that. In between, I like to stick in cutscenes, which are fully described for the blind and visually impaired. And my visually diverse folks, I'm working on creating some images for them to check out, because I cater to everyone. Not just because you're blind and visually impaired, but also to those who are sighted and visually diverse, low vision. So I try to come up with something that keeps everybody happy. No, it isn't a fast process or easy process, but it's important to me that everybody feels included. Inclusivity is important. I don't even know if that's a word. Inclusivity, is that a word? Is it a word? I don't know. All right, see if we can finish off this level 8 in strength, and then we'll take a little quick break.
You were defeated. You were defeated. Go back, button. Go back, button. The forest. Swap weapon, image. Choose combat spot, button. Choose combat spot, start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Equipped weapon. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Head. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back, start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back, button. Start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Heading. The forest. Start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back, start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back, start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back, button. Start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back, button. Go back. Start combat, button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Level 8.
All right, cool.
Go back. Button.
Looks like we hit the circuit.
Go back. Button.
Let's
The forest.
go
Heading.
take a little short break and let's start again.
Change selected combat skill to strength. Determine. Change selected combat skill to defense.
All right,
Increases
we'll go
chance to
back
avoid
to
enemy attacks.
defense.
X equals defense level. Enemy attack level. Avoid chance equals 50 plus 0.75 start X. Button.
We will check our inventory to see if anything dropped, but give me a quick break to take a little quick bio, and I'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Game Double Tap. That's the channel's name. My name is Michael Gray. This game is Idle Acta. The developer is Grounded Games, and it's an RPG, idle, kind of fun, exciting game. The music is by MyNoise, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. So enjoy the beautiful soundtrack I've created for you. All right, almost back. Just getting my coffee. Thank you for your patience. God bless you. Keep you. Stay good. All right. Okay, we're just about back. Sorry for the noise. I'll be clipping on my microphone here in a second. We're doing good. We always play the clapping sound when I level.
Defense. Level 8 defense experience. 633/735.
For those of you who don't like my chatting, go ahead and fast forward about 10 minutes. I dropped my Yeti's unhappy. He wants to play. Yeah, fast forward 10 minutes, I will probably be done talking. Maybe 5 minutes to be on the safe side. So this week, it's a good week. It's a really good week. Started off with the Super Bowl. I did Doncaster. So if you want to check out my gamma play of Doncaster, go check it out. I think I'm on episode 2. It's really fun. I played Conjuring last week extensively, and I have unlocked some super secrets. So if you are looking forward to today's happy hour, you are in good stead, because today's happy hour will be all about Conjuring. I've unlocked the last character, the super secret character. If you want to know what it is, you're going to have to swing by to happy hour, which usually premieres after 3 p.m. Can be anywhere between 3 and 6 p.m. on Fridays. So yeah, I've unlocked some cool stuff on Conjuring. The Super Bowl was interesting. The poor 49ers lost. I used to be a 49er fan, so I have a lot of empathy for them. Poor 49ers. That totally sucks. I know they feel terrible, you know. It was a sad moment. Very sad moment for the Niners. So sorry that you lost. Hey, my Raiders haven't made it to the big dance in a long time, so be happy you made it this far. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. So happy you got yourself another Super Bowl ring. Good job. I've been hearing people talk about possibly creating the day after the Super Bowl as a holiday. I think that'd be really kind of cool. Very American. Very American. I had a dead day after the Super Bowl, so everyone was, recovering from hangovers. Not I. I had a very sober Super Bowl. I haven't had a sip in a long time, so I was just mentioning to someone that I have actually had some very sober happy hours. I feel like me and Marissa need to go out and have some more fun. We need to go to, there was a place that she wanted to check out. I forgot what it was. We'll do it next time. But there was a outdoor restaurant that's got some pretty good food. I remember she talked about that, but I forgot where it is. I do believe it's in Midtown. But yeah, we're going to have to do a little get out and have some fun. Definitely check out some local places. That's always fun. What else is going on this week? Valentine's Day hit, which was really fun. Enjoyed some relaxation, had some good times. I think we watched a couple movies. The movies we recently watched were Anger Management. Very, very fun. Had a good time with that one. Jack Nicholson, Adam Sandler, lots of surprise guests. Oh my God. The surprise folks in that one were fantastic. Guy flicks I've been watching. Just finished watching the last John Wick movie. It was awesome. What else did I watch? Parabellum, I think it's called. What's the other pretty good guy flick? I'll just watch this weird, creepy horror thing that me and Marissa checked out. It's like Don't Tell Scary Stories or something like that. It's on Netflix. Netflix and YouTube are like TV, basically. Between them both, throw a little Disney in there and stuff like that, or Hulu, you're pretty much set. Me and Marissa were toying around with names to call Netflix and YouTube if they had a merger. I called it NetTube, and Marissa says, oh, no, YouTube's not going to like that. They're not like having their name cut in half. So I called it UNet. And then we both figured that some pervert would change that kind of to something gross. So we said UNet's not going to work. Then I think we said NetU, and that also sounded kind of perverted. So we didn't do that one. So then we thought about UNet, and then I think I said that one before. That one was kind of awkward, so that didn't work out. So we were just trying to come up with merger names like we are moguls. So we're big, giant billionaire moguls, deciding on the names of our new companies, just breaking the what's that word for it? Monopoly clause. Combining these huge multimedia companies into one big umbrella, the umbrella economy. Yeah, I actually like that show. If you never watched The Umbrella Academy on Netflix, it's actually quite good. I haven't finished the last season, actually. I'm really disappointed with myself. I do need to finish the last season of Umbrella Academy. It's really good. What's going on with my Netflix world? Right now on Netflix, I'm watching Delicious and Dungeon. It's really fun. It doesn't have descriptive audio. Boo. Yes, please. I know shows are localized with English. Please add some descriptive audios. Descriptive audio is great. Please add some. So Delicious and Dungeon, no descriptive audio, pretty fun. That's really good. It's Japan anime. It's cool. I love it. It's really fun. It's localized, so it's in English. I don't know if it has subtitles. Probably. Of course, just audio description is the last to get. You get subtitles, but you don't get audio description. Sometimes it's the reverse. Watching a bunch of old action movies has been pretty fun. So Netflix has kind of changed itself. So now Netflix has like this new strategy, and it's very effective. So they got oldies and goodies. So they got new stuff and they got old stuff, and it's a great mixture. They're doing a great job with that. So recently, I haven't seen anything really interesting yet. So I'll let y'all know maybe next Friday. But I'm looking for some more Netflix stuff. It's been kind of. I need some fresh blood. I need some. I need some fresh blood with Netflix. I need some good stuff here. Books. Books are doing really good right now. The Primal Hunter Book 8 is out and it's fantastic. I think I just blasted through the first 10 chapters. It's so good. Jake is back. He's up to his old tricks and he's doing some merciless killing and he's leveling up his professions and race and all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, if you haven't listened to The Primal Hunter by Zogarth, you are missing out. You are missing out, people. It is fantastic. Yeah, Primal Hunter, absolutely awesome. Everybody Loves Large Chests by Minuet, also a fantastic book. I'm kind of slogging through Jackson. It's very good, but you have to be awake. It's not a sleepy book. Jackson, Minuet's books are very deep, and you got to pay attention to them, and they're very entertaining. They're as good as a movie as you're gonna get. So, on Bard, for those of you who are just doing Bard, I am listening to The Nowhere Man. I don't know what the current book's name is, but it's really good. It's the current Nowhere Man series. He's like a special agent that's retired, and he's kind of saves people who are innocent from evil. They're very good books. They're extremely good. Watching that one currently right now. It's got just the right amount of goofiness, tension, gunplay, action. Yeah. It's really light on the sex, but it's okay. Occasionally you get a little action, but you don't get much action. Oh God. Got my taxes done, so I even scheduled next year the same thing. So went to my tax professionals, and they were very sweet to me, very kind to me, and they are currently packed up away from COVID, so no COVID stuff. I can now use the bathroom at my tax professionals, which is really good because it was really tough holding it through the whole time because all the bathrooms were closed in every business. So if you remember COVID, there were no bathrooms in businesses because of the problems. And I have a very small bladder, like the size of like a mouse from Conjuring. So I have to go and often. So it was really sucked to not be able to use the bathroom. So I had to wait for paratransit to pick me up and paratransit to bring me back home. And I'm just, hoping I don't have an accident. So thank God COVID procedures are pretty much the thing of the past. So most of the places I visit now are not COVID. So thank God I can actually use their facilities. I can get a glass of water. I can actually interact with people. I'm so happy COVID is moving into the past. It's really nice not to have to deal with all that stuff because it was a nightmare. Again, people are still getting COVID. I respect that people are still getting COVID. I respect that our government's still working hard to keep people properly vaccinated. I am fully vaccinated. I might want to say, get yourself a flu shot. Man, that flu is brutal. If you haven't had the recent flu, ooh, let me tell you something. Yeti, what do you think? Oh yeah, Yeti's very hostile about that. So yeah, yeah, the recent flu is pretty brutal. Me and Marissa both had it. It is nasty. Yeah, her daughter also had it too, and yeah, she did not like it. Mind you, she's like a teenager, and she's like got the immunity of a superhero. So if it got her, trust me, it's strong. Because teenagers, they're, you know, for the most part, they are pretty strong. Their immune system is very hardy. Whereas old folks like me, man, somebody sneezes in our face, we're pretty much dead. Oh, the Iktah coffee is tasting good. So I think we have just enough time to get into another round of leveling. Let's see if we can get everything to level 9, and then we're going to wrap it up today. But of course, as always, folks, thank you very much. If you like what I do, please like it. If you like my chit-chatties, please subscribe. You'll get more chit-chatties. Leave a comment if you have a question. You have some tips. You have some, what's the word for it? If you have some spoilers, if you have some advice, that is cool. Go ahead and drop that into the comments. And today's happy hour, it will be Conjury, the new super secret character. So if you want to know who Triple Threat is, you're going to have to check out my next video today that's going to be uploaded, which will be Conjury Happy Hour, the new super secret character. So it's going to be super awesome. So if you want to know super details, swing by my super happy hour to hear about the new super secret character. Is that enough super for you? Yeah. Yeah. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. All right, let's get going. Let's get back into it here. Let's do this.
Equipped weapon, unarmed. Start combat. Button.
Oh, I said we'd check our inventory. Let's see if anything dropped.
Choose combat spot. No tone. Button. Health. 1. Combat. Equipment. Button. Skills menu. Inventory. Button. Inventory. Shop. Button. More settings. Button. Settings. Button. Settings. Settings. Button. Inventory. Heading. Toggle health. Items in current bag. 4 of 30.
Oh, we got a 4th item. I'm so excited. This is the first game I've ever had this few items in my inventory. I mean, I played everything from Sortie Quest to Path of Adventure, and my bags are full of stuff. Iktah, boy, they are really, really frugal with the stuff they throw in your bag.
Sword type. Button. Red fur logs. 1. Image. Tiny eye. 1. Image. Light leather. 1. Image. Small claw. 4. Image.
Ooh, we got actions a small
available.
claw. 4. Cool. Well, that's good. What was it? I don't know what we're fighting, but at least we have a small claw. We're starting to build up a little bit of animal parts, which is good. We're probably going to need that for crafting. I heard this game has extensive crafting, so I'm really excited. Small claw. I love it. All right, let's keep going.
Huge bag. Image.
Again, this might be a very low commentary video when I'm just playing, so I just want you to hear the sound effects and the music in the background by MyNoise. So yeah, this could go into Dreams. This series is called Dreams. So if you want to hear me not talk at all, you can swing by Dreams on Easy Grind, where I play for hours. So again, I have a little bit of everything you want. I have no commentary, light commentary, high commentary, chatty Chatterton commentary. All right, cool. Let's get everything to level 9 and wrap this video up.
Combat. Button. Combat. Player attack speed. 3.00s. Enemy attack speed. Swap weapon. Change selected combat skill to defense. Increases chance to avoid enemy. Change selected combat skill to attack. Improves your chance of. Change selected combat skill to strength. Change selected combat skill to defense. Increases chance to avoid enemy attacks.
Defense to level 9.
X equals defense level. Enemy. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
Welcome back, everybody who fast forwarded. Yep, we're back into it. Trying to go to level 9.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Choose combat spot. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Head. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Love the sound of those waves.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button.
I chose a
Forest.
really good combination of music today.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Nice.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Excuse me.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
Alexa, stop. Just reminding me that I've been recording for an hour.
Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat.
I'll give you
button.
guys a little
Stop
extra
combat.
good Idle Acta. Because I know I haven't
Go back,
played it in
button.
a couple weeks.
Go back. Button. Go back.
Give you a
button.
little extra
The
love.
forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Chunking that booty.
Go back. Button.
Hoping to get a crit right there. That'd have been nice.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
I feel like a good boy today. Got my laundry done.
Start combat. Button.
Have to just fold it.
Go back. Button.
My place is reasonably clean except for the kitchen.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest.
The floor. You know what I hate? Kitchen floors. They're just the worst. It's always where the food falls. And I hate crumbs.
Start combat. Button.
I hate crumbs
Stop combat.
so much.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
I have a swipper moth. I'm not a fan. I need a system to picking up crumbs on the floor. I know swippers do it, but I'm also out of swipper pads, so I've got to order some more swipper pads.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
We should almost be at level 9 here.
Level 9.
There it is. I have a sense for
Go
these
back,
things,
button.
don't I now? All right, level 9. Where's our applause? Good job.
You were defeated. You were defeated. Go back. Button. Go back.
All right,
button.
let's go ahead and
The
do
forest.
2
Heading.
more to go, and we're done.
Toggle health. Show drops for deer. Image.
Oh, we're fighting deers now.
Defense. Level 9 defense experience. 735 slash. Equipped weapon. Unarmed. Start combat. Equipped. Defense. Level. Change selected combat skill to defense. Increase. Change selected combat skill to attack.
All
Increase
right,
your chance of hitting a target.
let's
X equals attack level. Enemy defense level. Hit chance equals 50
Okay,
plus
we did
0.75
defense.
start
Let's
X.
do
Button.
attack.
Attack. Level 8 attack experience. 612 slash 735.
Okay, 612 to 735. Okay, let's get this done.
Equipped weapon.
Let's
Unarmed.
get our attack to 9.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
I swear to God,
Go back, button.
we kill everything in the forest.
Go back,
Foxes,
button. The forest,
deers,
heading.
beavers, rabbits. We are a merciless hunter. We kill everything.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
Well, at least we're up to deers
back,
now,
button.
so maybe the deers
forest,
drop better
heading.
stuff.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
I would love if the game announced when monsters appear. That'd be nice.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest.
I'd also
heading.
like the location and the attack buttons to be a little more space between them. I'd love the attack button, the start combat button, to be a little bigger and more pronounced
Start combat.
on the user
button.
interface.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Other than that, I'd love to have more animal sounds when you fight them. Love to have the animals make more noises.
Go back,
I think
button.
that'd be very cute.
Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Heading. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. But start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Heading. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Head. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button.
Circuit rhythm.
Stop combat.
Chunky time, baby.
Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Nice.
Go back. Button. You were defeated. You were Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest. Equipped weapon. Unarmed. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
No, we do not have an equipped weapon. It's gonna be a long time before we get a weapon, y'all. We just got our 4th item today, which is nice.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button.
Let me know what you
The forest.
found. If
Heading.
you are playing Idle Acta and you're like me, a brand new player, let me know what items you're finding. Are you getting very few items just like me?
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Try to drink my coffee before it gets cold.
Go back. Button.
Before it looks like a bunny's butt.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Choose combat spot. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Level 9.
Yay! There we go. Levels are coming a little faster, right? Right?
Go
right,
back. Button.
Right? Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do strength and we'll wrap it up.
Go back. You were defeated. Go back. Button.
Let's
Go
do
back.
strength
Button.
now.
Attack. Level 9. Equipped weapon. Attack. Change selected combat skill to attack. Improve. Change selected combat skill to strength.
Let's finish
Determines
off
how hard you can hit.
strength.
Strength. Level 8 strength experience. 615/735.
All right, one more.
Equipped weapon. Unarmed. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Swap weapon. Choose combat spot. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Head. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Start combat. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
My favorite YouTubers currently.
Go back. Button.
I'm enjoying some Robert Rambles. He is playing World of Warcraft, and he's currently doing Season of Discovery. He also has a nighttime Season of Discovery, which I really enjoy. He's more of a casual, kind of suburban kind of YouTuber. He's a family guy. He's very friendly. He can be opinionated, and he can go on some pretty negative rants, but other than that, he's exceptionally empathetic for most things. He's educated. He's a good guy. I do love his YouTube channel. I've been subscribed for a long time. So yeah, check him out. That's Robert Rambles. He does World of Warcraft primarily, though he does some really cool games on his other second channel, which I can't remember off the top of my head. Other favorite YouTuber is Law Talk with Mike. He is a bloke out of Chicago, where my girlfriend's from, Chicago. And he's very cheeky, very fun. He's really fun. I think it's really cute. He calls his daughters flamingos, which is really adorable. I was going to steal it, but I can't bear to because it's so cute. Anyway, Law Talk with Mike is great. If you're into like listening to people do silly stuff in court, he's the best. And I especially love how much he hates sovereign citizens. I'm the same. I hate them. They're so stupid.
Go back button.
Whoa.
Go back button.
Stop it.
Go back button. The forest heading.
Sorry, VoiceOver's going to talk right over me, so don't worry. It's that new little issue with the time sync. Other YouTubers that I'm enjoying watching right now, of course, Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Great for if you want to watch a little Japanese naughtiness. And I'm currently watching Carnival Karens. For some reason, I'm on a Karen kick. Like, I love watching Karens get busted and taken to the ground and get arrested. So I'm watching Carnival Karens. Old Squishy Gardener, watching that a little bit. I like court case stuff. It's really fun. A lot of my other shows are not really doing it for me. That's about it. Of course, Game, my first channel. But I haven't really dropped a lot of content on Game. But I mostly just do reviews and news on that one. Not a lot of news these days for me. That's it for my YouTubers. That's kind of the only YouTube stuff kind of that I found that's been very entertaining. And yeah.
SWAT weapon. Image. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest. Heading. Choose combat. Start combat. Button.
We're gonna finish
Stop
off.
combat.
We're gonna finish off this last level up to 9, and we'll be done.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
I know it
Go
isn't
back, button.
terribly
The forest.
exciting, but
Heading.
just you're hanging out with me, you know.
SWAT weapon. Image. Equipped weapon. Unarmed. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Ike, the coffee is just about done.
Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. Button.
Maybe my
Stop
coffee
combat.
will be done just when I hit level 9 in
Go
strength.
back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Sorry about that. Ooh,
Go back.
that
Button.
sneeze was coming.
Go back. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
I need to dust my place. I need
Go
I need
back.
some
Button.
wipes.
The forest.
I need
Heading.
to dust everything. My place needs some serious dusting.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
I haven't done my windows, so I do that during spring cleaning every year. So I take the shades down, I wipe them all down.
Go back. Button.
I Windex the windows, wipe all the dust, get all the frames. It's good. Got to get
Go
that
back.
dust
Button.
out.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button.
Wipe down
The
all my
forest.
monitors, my magnifier. Wipe down my desk really thoroughly. Wipe the back of the desk down. Wipe the walls down.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Gotta do spring cleaning. My mom taught me that. It's very important.
Go back. Button.
Pull your refrigerator out, clean all the dust underneath it.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest. Heading. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Future plans.
Go back. Button.
Just got my taxes done, so we have a couple of bills we need to take care of, so nothing really fun. Computer's still on the agenda. We're still going to get a computer. We're trying to get that this year.
Go back. Button.
I'd like to
Go
get
back,
my
button.
membership
The forest.
done.
Heading.
I'd like to do a membership on my primary channel. I haven't finished the banners and stuff, so I'm working on that.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
My DCS paperwork is really behind.
Go
I gotta
back,
get
button.
that done.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button.
I'd like
forest.
to
Heading.
get a new YouTube channel started, so thinking about doing a sound-only YouTube channel just for different sounds and adventures and stuff.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
So I'm working on that. I already got some material already
Go back.
recorded.
Button. Go back. Button.
Basically, it would
The
be
forest.
me
Heading.
wandering
Start combat.
around
Button. Stop
and
combat.
recording sounds and the wind and
button.
nature and people and attractions.
Go
you know?
back. Button. Go
Something,
back. Button.
it'd be like an
forest.
ambience
Heading.
creation. So you can sleep to it, you can relax to it, you can play it in the background. It'd be minimal, it would be very minimal talking by me. So
Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
that would be, it's going to be really fun. I'm
Go
excited
back.
about
Button.
it.
Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
It's going to be very like into me, like if you're
Go back,
into
button.
listening to me chat to people and talk. So of course I'll ask them if I have permission to record, you know, so don't worry. I'm not going to be bypassing any privacy concerns. I always ask people permission before I record anything. And when people come to me and I'm recording, I always let them know I am recording. And if they don't want to be on the recording, they might have to walk away. So don't worry. I follow the rules. I know the laws. I'm very aware of them. I've been a YouTuber for a very long time. I know sometimes people think, he doesn't know the rules. Yes, I do. I'm very familiar. I've never been sued and I never will be sued because I do know the laws.
Go back. Button.
I don't know
Go
I'm
back,
like
button.
a lawyer,
The forest.
but
Heading.
I do know what I'm taught by the licensing and rights and stuff like that, fair use. I'm very familiar with all the rudimentary layman laws I need to know to do YouTube.
Start combat. Button. Stop
So
combat.
yeah, if I do record people, don't worry, I have their permission, just so you know. No need to get worried. Not gonna get sued. You'd be surprised, people love to talk to me, even if I'm recording. I have no shortage of people who want me to record them talk. Human beings love talking about themselves. Let me tell you
Go back,
something.
button.
If you ever want to never run out of things to do, ask people to talk about themselves. You will have a full-time job every day. I don't think it'll pay you anything, but you'll have a full-time job.
Go back. Button.
People love talking about
back,
themselves.
button.
That's for
The
sure.
forest. Equipment. Button. Equipment. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Well, that's it for the Idle Act of Coffee.
Go
So
back,
we
button.
need to wrap this
Go
up
back,
because I'm
button.
out of coffee.
The forest. Heading.
Yeti? Yeti's very upset.
SWAT weapon. Image. Health. 1. Combat.
Oh, we
button.
do have a help. Oh, looks like we have a help information. We'll have to check that out.
Health. Combat. Button. Start combat.
Let's
button.
just finish. Let's
Stop
level
combat.
up first. We're gonna level up and then we'll check the help button. I
Go
think
back,
those are
button.
like. I would say the developer, instead of help, change that to notifications or tutorial tips, because help sounds like something I should do with the app. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it would make people check it more often if you called it tips or
Go back,
tricks,
button.
or you named it as an NPC of some kind. So non-playable character. I always think it's better if it's a humanized kind of terminology about something going on in a game.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Equipped weapon. Unarmed.
And I'm not trying to be a know-it-all here. I have nowhere near the skill levels that the developer of this game has. I mean, I'm just giving my opinion, folks. Please, developers are my friends. I have never criticized the developer. I just offer suggestions because they ask me to.
Start combat. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Not because I'm trying to be a jerk.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button.
I am not a
The forest.
ranter
Heading.
about developers. I have never ranted about a developer. I love developers. If anything, I'm too gushy about developers. I just scare them, you know? Awkward, you know?
Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
Also,
Go back,
don't forget,
button.
folks, swing by Illegally Cited. He's got some really good videos on there. Swing by Aaron Spelker. He's got some excellent videos on there. Check out my folks in the blind and visually impaired community, influencers who are responsible for a lot of content and definitely deserve your subscription. Check them out when you can.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. The forest. Heading. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. But start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
We're almost
Go
leveled.
back. Button. Go
We're
back. Button.
almost
The
leveled.
forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
And no, I don't like to check between fights how close I am. It's like watching a pot boil. It never happens.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button.
Circuit rhythm.
Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. But go back. But start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat.
Need to
The
get a
forest.
nice
Head.
little
The forest. Heading.
chunkathon here. Let's do some smashing in the face here. I haven't had a crit in a minute.
Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Start combat. Button. Stop combat.
I wonder if I'm supposed to go back and fight some of the weaker monsters, since I'm stronger now. And I wonder if we're going to get good
back, button.
stuff at level 10. I wonder if we're going to get new stuff to do.
Go back. Button. Go back. But start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. But start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. Start combat. The forest. Head. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Go back. Button. Go back. But start combat. The forest. The forest. Start combat. Button. Stop combat. Level 9.
Beautiful. Nice chunking too. Ooh, we're hitting like a truck now. Yes. Ooh, that's a new sound. We popped somebody up the side of the head.
Go back. Button.
Ooh, we were hitting that time.
Go back,
All right,
button.
let's go see if we
The
got
forest,
anything.
heading.
And then we'll check out our help hints. I think I heard a little sound like a piece of glass or something shattering, or a gem.
Combat. Button. Equipment. Button. Skills menu. Button. Inventory. Button. Shop. Button.
Let's
Inventory.
check out the
Button.
inventory first. See what we got.
Shop. Button. More settings. Button. Tiny. Light leather. 2. Tiny. Red fur logs. 1. Sword type. Button.
Let's see if we have more items.
Items in current bag. 4 of 30.
No, we still have 4 items. Okay, let's check out our skills.
Skills menu. Button.
See if we have
Skills
any new
menu.
skills.
Go back. Go back. Journal. Button. Crafting. Button. Woodcutting. Button. Smithing. Button. Mining. Button. Cooking. Button. Fishing. Button.
I don't see
Cook-
anything there.
Crafting. Button. Journal. Button.
Let's check out the journal.
Journal. Heading. Toggle help. Skills progress screen. Button. Explorers mark 0.
With no explorer marks.
Put 10 bluegill. Available. Button.
We can do cooked tin bluegill. Well, we got to get to fishing first.
Create a copper dagger. Available. Button.
We can create a copper dagger.
Rowdy raccoons. Available. Button.
Ooh, rowdy raccoons. I've fought some raccoons, I do believe.
The sea secret. Available. Button.
The sea secret. What's that?
Requires 2 explorers marks. Button.
Okay, we don't have that.
Requires 3 explorers marks. Requires level 5 gathering. Requires level 5 crafting. Button. Requires level 20 gathering. Level 10 alchemy. And 60 total levels. Button.
Holy cow, I'm not going to get that anytime soon.
Combat. Button.
All right, let's check out that
requires 2
rowdy
explorers mark.
raccoons.
The sea secret. Rowdy raccoons. Available. Rowdy raccoons.
What is
Available.
this?
Button. Rowdy raccoons. Margaret. Image.
Oh, okay, let's find out what's going on. Margaret, what's going on with the rowdy raccoons?
Hello again. You still out there bravely adventuring? Well, if you happen to come across my baguette, let me know. I think a raccoon nicked it off me while I was taking a nap.
Hey, if you happen to come across my baguette, could you please grab it for me? Yeah, sure, Margaret. We'll grab it for you. Oh, thank you so much. Some raccoon ate it. And Margaret, I wouldn't eat it after a raccoon has eaten it. They eat garbage, so I wouldn't eat it after that. Just my advice to you. Oh, well, thank you for mansplaining it to me, but I can handle my own eating. Okay, no problem. I didn't mean to mansplain it. Sorry about that. It's okay. All right, so we need to get Margaret her baguette, which has been stolen by a raccoon.
Baguette 0/1. Button.
0/1 baguette. So we're gonna have to go get that.
Explorer's mark +1.
Oh, we'll get it. I don't know if that's the reward.
Tome of fire +10.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Cancel. Button.
Okay.
Tome of baguette. Hello again. You still out there? Margaret. Image. Rowdy raccoons. Rowdy raccoons. Rowdy raccoons. Margaret. Hello again. Baguette 0. Explorer's mark plus. Baguette 0/1. Baguette 0/1. Baguette. Go back. Button. Go back. Button. Baguette. Heals for 5.
Oh, the baguettes heal.
Go to location. Button.
Oh, that's really cool. So I'm starting to get used to the interface.
Combat. Go to location.
Go to
Button.
location.
Go to location.
Okay,
Forest.
where's
Heading.
Also, the rowdy raccoons are in the forest, so we're starting to get used to the quest givers. It's a little hard at first.
Toggle held. Show drops 4. Raccoon. Image. Raccoon.
Oh, the raccoon. We found the raccoon.
Raccoon stats. Attack 9. Strength 7. Defense 4. Hit points 8.
Oh, these are easy to kill too.
Player attack speed 3.00s. Enemy attack speed 3.00s. Swap weapon. Image. Change selected combat skill to strength. Strength. Level 9 strength experience.
Okay, so when we come back,
768/875.
next episode of Idle Acta, we will attempt to find Margaret's baguette from these rowdy raccoons. And that will be our next episode. But that's going to wrap it up for us today, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you. It's been really fun playing Idle Acta. Have an excellent weekend. And if you are enjoying happy hour that isn't involved any alcohol, please take an Uber, take a Lyft, call a family member who isn't drinking, please. And be safe out there, okay, folks? And when you're caning out there, look out for the water, the snow. Be cautious out there. Please be careful. And I will hear you next time here on Game Double Tap, folks. Take care.